Pillars of Eternity continues.
Well,
here we are again. Back in Charon's Scar and the Ione Brother Fragment.
as you wish.
Whoa, it's a little loud there. Gotta turn it down so we don't get too much reverb. And of course we have some fucking eyeless just chilling. See if we can drag them back.
I shall.
What is it?
I am gonna try playing this and get better at this game. One thing that I've noticed when I play these games and I'm recording them, like Baldur's Gate and Iceland's Dale, is I don't tend to actually explore like the multitude of potions and scrolls and items that I get. I just tend to hoard them and move along until more strategy is needed, simply because I'm recording here and I'm trying to keep the flow of the video going. So it's kind of a win-lose situation, or a double-edged sword, if you will, because a part of me wants to sit here and investigate and play around in my fucking inventory and try this strategy and that strategy and reload and test out all the different skills. But the fact is we're like, we're shooting a fucking movie here. Like, we got to keep things rolling.
Well,
I'm right here.
And since this is my first time playing it, I just, this would probably have been a better game to have LP'd after I had played through it once or even twice. I'd be a lot more informative on all the different skills and what everything does. And at this point, we've amassed so much shit in my inventory that it's overwhelming. And we still have to make a video of reading 1,000 books. I did notice the eyeless down here in the shadows of the... That's pretty interesting how they integrated that into the background of the foreground here. You can see them just kind of all lingering. This is cool. The shapes or the spirits are there waiting to be awoken.
as you wish. Still alive? I need something sharp.
Hey.
Gotta try something.
I also was watching a video of a guy defeating the Adra Dragon on Path of the Damned, the hardest difficulty, just using scrolls of wall of fire, tons of them, tons of fan flaming, and just he had to pause literally every half second. So that's another thing. Like, I try to keep the combat a little bit fluid. I don't know. I figure it comes out better when you're watching it. But for high-level strategies like that, that's exactly what I assume the game would be like. If you're playing on the Path of the Damned or the harder difficulties, you literally need to micromanage every millisecond of the game. And that's another thing I did not want to do on recording, but rest assured, I'll be trying it on my own off camera. And you never know.
Of course.
Might come back one day and do a whole nother LP. Maybe with just a solo run, like the Baldur's Gate solo run with Lo Wang. There is an achievement for beating this on a solo run, so it's entirely possible.
Hey.
Alright, so as you can see, we got one pulled away. I'm afraid if I shoot this guy, he's going to drag more with him. Oh yeah, he's active. Yeah, he's active as fuck. Just spear chucking and hitting people not even close to him. I'm gonna try to be sneaky here. Oh wow, there's two of them sitting here. Alright, Lug, we're gonna need that critical. As if on call.
Hey.
I like the rogue shit because you can just blast it all out in 2 seconds. So when you start getting into the more difficult parts of the game, or the higher difficulties rather, stun locking becomes a huge thing on these bigger guys, where really it's just about preventing them from attacking because a lot of them can one-shot kill you. So you kind of, you don't even really get to explore different options in that sense either, because only certain things work
Well,
to keep these big bastards stunned, or the dragons. And probably a lot of the other creatures as well. I mean, those Android
as you wish.
followers were kicking some ass too. I try to play around with a bunch of the different skills, but you know, you have your go-tos.
As you wish. What is it? What is it?
Can't get me! Whoa. Judging by claw marks and scales around the edges of the pool, you believe it regularly used by Lagafoth. You see something shimmering in the depths of the frigid, murky water. Dive in myself, Mr. Constitution. You dive into the water and immediately feel a cold bite into your skin. It's incredibly frigid, rapidly sapping the warmth from your body. The water is calm, but a person with a weak constitution would suffer greatly if submerged for more than a few moments. You shrug off the intense cold and dive toward the light, glinting in the murky depths of the ice cave. You quickly recover a cache of Lagafoth treasures, including a variety of coins and a set of surprisingly well-preserved plate greaves. Unfortunately, the disturbance of the horde was noted by a pack of Lagafoth are swimming over to investigate. Hiding from the Lagafoth will be difficult, but attempting to outswim them would require phenomenal athletic ability. You confidently launch yourself from the bottom of the ice cave. Even with the Lagafoth's treasure under one arm, you manage to easily reach the surface ahead of their clawing hands. That's because we had Athletics 13. Moments later, furious Lagafoth erupt from the pool, and they are mad! They are mad as piss. They're mad as piss. Start throwing up my defenses first. These fuckers are dead. Oh, it's a brood mother. Fucking smash that bitch's head. Oh, this ain't gonna last long. Look, he's just mopping shit up with that fucking hammer, dude. Holy shit.
So much for you. Not even slowing it down.
Another thing about this game is if you really want to learn the nuances of it, you have to pay attention to this and see what's doing what, what's affecting what. and kind of really dissecting it, even mathematically, beyond logically, because there's so much going on here as far as statistics and additives and negatives. I mean, just see how it breaks this shit down? It's ridiculous. Yeah. So once you understand this system, which I don't entirely, I mean, I get it on a basic level.
Yes.
Then you can also start doing different kinds of experimentation. And really starting to learn this game inside and out. Okay, let's check out these greaves. +5 armor speed penalty, but +3 damage reduction. We don't want to put these on Lug because he's our speed guy. He's trying to get to these faraway units as quickly as possible since we don't have his jump attack yet. Free there. The coward of Kindle Vale fled more battles than most men fought. He nevertheless rose to the rank of Steadman, likely because he survived his doomed platoons on several noteworthy occasions. After an otherwise undistinguished military career, he was finally caught abandoning his comrades during a minor skirmish in the War of the Black Trees. His commanding officer executed him on the spot. So these were made to prevent people from running away like a little bitch. But it does grant wild sprint, and this +5 must be a good thing. Helps us run even more, maybe? I'm still trying to figure that out. It's straight up +3 movement speed. It's armor speed penalty. Wild sprint once per rest. No, I don't think I'm going to necessarily need those on Lug. The boots of stability are great too, though. Preventing that pushback. I might actually go ahead and try these. The damage reduction's pretty huge, and then we'll I think put the boots of speed on our rogue here. Thematically that works, and I'll get her out of a sticky situation. I think the most disappointing thing so far is that the stealthing in this, either I'm not doing something right or it just sucks. Because I haven't been able to sneak up and backstab anybody.
What is it?
That little circle just starts spinning as soon as you get close, no matter who you're using. And this chick is like fucking maxed on that. I mean, 6 stealth, she should be able to get up somewhere. I guess not max, because I maxed my mechanics. Maybe if my stealth was 12. I don't know. I just haven't pulled it off, and
What
it's
is it?
a little disappointing.
Right here. I'm going.
Hey,
Well,
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
See what I mean? It's just instant.
Right here. Just like Mama taught me. Gotta try something else.
Wait a frenzy post-battle. It's like my signature move.
What is it?
I don't think I missed anything, but pretty sure we just had this pool here. Yeah, I think this spot is pretty much empty.
Well?
That's gotta be the crystal. You ready for this?
You ready for a boss fight with a Kraken? Let's use some shit. Oh, it's so messy. Enchantments high to low. No. Plenty of spells with 2 wizards. Really could just sell the scrolls. I don't think we're going to get away with using the traps. I think this is going to be a potion thing. Prevents death for 20 seconds. Prevents us really... So those are great if you're about to die. It's anti-effect potion. Ooh, iron skin. Alright, make some room, motherfucker. Major endurance. I don't think I need my horn for this battle. Definitely want Lug Lug to have the iron skin. Same with Eder. I'm going to give you some real potions too, my friend. Now, I heard this battle is not hard, but oh well. We've been saving all this shit. Oh man, I don't know how to split these fucking things up. You son of a bitch. Used to be hold down shift and click. Now this shit ain't working. Okay, it's control. Alright, folks, it's a one-way trip down to Kraken land. The ridge overlooks a broad chamber half flooded with lake water. You could crawl down this way, but it looks too steep and slick to climb back up. Welcome. Welcome. I courted a girl for a while that looked like that, tentacles and all. We want to head right to the main squeeze.
Kill them all!
Get it! Alright. Let's bust some potions. Iron skin. Iron skin. Alacrity. Let's bless these. And let's just start throwing out the craziest shit we can.
Don't even slow it.
Not even going to worry about the tentacles. Just going to go for this main body. Once the Kraken's dead, that's it anyways, right? Cast another one. Go through the shanking.
So much for you.
Already got him badly injured. Yeah, they said he was kind of weak, but meh. Oh well. Oh! And he summons these freaks. That definitely makes things more interesting. Kraken's dead. All right. Unfortunately, our wizards are in fucking trouble. Fuck it, run for it. Okay, that's not such a bad position to be in. That is, however. Eh. I believe on harder difficulties, there's a third eyeless here helping the Kraken. If you can imagine that. I mean, this is already normal difficulty. Oh, you got the bow.
How? Right here.
And there goes the insta kill. And we got some levels. Let's see who killed the Kraken. Oh, it's not going back up far enough? What the fuck? It's weak as shit. I'll have to go back and catch it in the vid.
What is it?
Oh, no body to search? Inconceivable.
Of course.
Come on, you can do it. An enormous crystal juts from the wall like a spearhead protruding from a wound. An army of reflections stares back at you from the crystal's perfect facets. It echoes the sound of your footsteps in soft, ringing hums. Someone will have to take up Abaddon's hammer and strike the crystal. An underwarned, and whoever does so will be buried in this place with the eyeless. Whom do you choose? Step back and consider this further. Lug was gonna do it till he heard that shit. Sounds like we'll be summoning the ogres here. I'm not losing any of these party members. You can forget about it. I would have brought Sagani down or something. Okay, apparently there's some ways around death, however.
What is it?
One is having Constitution 19, which Lug does. The other is having the diving helmet, which I may or may not have found. No, it would have been a unique, I'm sure. I got so much shit now, I can't keep track. That was a possible reward for completing the Wild Mila quest, which I probably did some evil shit on, but it looks like a straight up diving helmet. Anyways,
What is it?
so we do have some options here. Plus we get to level the Luxter. What's the boss of the game? That's what I want to... I'm going to fuck with this later. Actually... Superior Deflection passive. That's always good. That's all Lugly got anyways. Same thing. You get. He already took that. Bonus knockdown, yeah. I mean, knockdown's great, but weapon focus on swords, morning stars, and crossbows. We seem to use a lot of swords as well. We're using one now. I'm not sure with that, or I'll have to think about that for a little bit.
What is it? Well?
Well, do it,
Led us
Luxter.
bravely. It has been an honor to follow your lead.
Yeah! Likewise!
Let's really have it in for you. Wish they knew you like I did.
I've known gods before.
I just hope you're not doing this for all those louts in Stalwart. Even the new ones ain't worth it.
Fuck them!
Straight into the fire, then. Your chances aren't favorable, but at least you've learned to embrace the test. I told you I'd be good for you, Watcher.
You were funny, little dwarf. You have the hammer and swing it at the crystal. A perfect clear tone rings through the air and resonance through your teeth. Seconds later, ripples shiver through the water. Something big is coming. You give the others a final nod. The rest of the party scrambles out of the flooded cavern and flees through tunnels. You continue hammering at the crystal, each strike magnifying the last. The echoes build into physical tremors. Meanwhile, a heavier rhythm pulses through the cave. Footsteps, dozens of them. The others round a corner only to see a line of eyeless advancing. The creatures stagger to the rhythm of the hammer thuds below, yet They crane their necks toward the party, ratcheting back their piston arms. Repulsing seal, sure. A glowing seal booms from the ground. The first two eyeless step into it and fall backwards, taking most of the others with them. The party sprints past the distracted monsters. Fortunately, the creatures are too focused on the hammering to give chase. They continue toward the cavern. You maintain a steady tempo in the crystal. Eyeless gather in the cavern where they batter the walls in time with the hammer's rhythmic blows. The ground shakes. Falling rocks and shattering crystals splash to the ground. The party flees to the dark rumbling corridors. More spellbound eyeless shamble along, but they're too entranced by the swelling cadence to take more than an idle swipe at the party. The tunnel narrows, light filters through ahead. The exit must be around the next bend. But it's clogged with rubble. Meanwhile, the ground drops several feet at once, and the tunnel begins rolling on its axis. The distant sound of rushing water echoes from the cavern. There must be a weak spot, but it'll take a practiced eye to find it. Who will clear the way? I guess I'll go with the devil. She's got the mechanics. The devil of Karak notices a loose boulder and wedges the pry bar beneath it. A gentle nudge knocks it loose and sends the rubble rolling away. The moon shudders again. The party escapes under the ice, just under the thunder's crash of sounds below. Eyeless continue pouring into the cavern from every visible tunnel and crevice. Your ears ring at the ever-growing cacophony of the smashing rock and shattering crystal. Meanwhile, the water level is rising. A skull-splitting crack rends the air, and a surge of water knocks you from your feet. The entire cavern rotates, plunging you into a freezing soup of jagged metal, torn flesh, and stone. The others dash across the lake. The ice squeals and crackles, rocking dangerously underfoot. The sinking moon groans. Long fissures race across the ice. Yeah, let's use the freezing rake. I got this! A spectral hand sweeps the ice in front of Ronstock. The ice sheet knits back together, holding just long enough for a safe crossing. At last, everyone reaches the safety of the shore. In the middle of the lake, only the tip of the moon is still visible above the ice. The survivors watch in silence as it sinks into the depths. You fight through the wreckage of the crumbling moon, feeling the cold only distantly. It's a draining process, but your limber muscles and mighty lungs are up to the task. You are a fucking lug-lug. You find the ghostly light to the surface and swim toward it. At last you reach the shallows. You punch through the thin crust of ice and crawl ashore, trembling but alive.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lug-Lug.
You stand at the edge of the lake. The bobbing of the ice and rippling of the water surface slows until you're looking at a moment frozen in time. When the world begins moving once more, it moves in reverse. Oh, they took away the horn anyways? Ah, that's poopy shit. That is poopy shit. That's the whole reason I made Lug-Lug do it. I would have sacrificed some ogres if I knew that was going to happen. Shit. The surface of the water churns and roils up like it's about to spew something up, and it does. The fragment of Ionian breath air rises unbroken. Ice reforms across the surface of the lake, spreading in long, freezing fingers. Eyeless file out of the moon fragment and onto the ice. They wind around the moon in an ever-widening spiral. Ah, that didn't work out so great. They stop at the head of their line reaches you. They speak in a single voice that resonates with grinding metal and hissing steam.
We shatter and sink, discarded like worn tools. Why have you consigned us to oblivion?
You are worn-out tools, broken and useless.
We protect Aora's heritage. We defend the wonders its people have built. Nothing is more important.
They ratchet out the blunt and sharp implements of their arms.
Then why did you storm Durgan's battery 200 years ago, huh?
Their protest is as sharp as squealing metal.
We would sooner sacrifice our own bodies than dislodge a single stone from such a place. Why do you torment us with baseless accusations?
Andra charged you from a preserver to a destroyer.
The eyeless are still, but you hear their gears weir. Their collective spirit ponders this.
Then we were betrayed.
No, you were adapted to serve a new purpose.
The creature nearest you smashes its club fist in the ice, roaring in protest.
And what if we adapted your flimsy hands with iron claws? Your brittle bones with mighty steel?
Another eyeless brandishes a sickle as tall as you.
A part of ourselves was cut away, and we were made to betray something we cherish.
You feel their bitter agony like a hammer strike.
The legacy of the Egwithins, you mean?
The bedrock of civilization.
Suddenly they attack the ice beneath them, slicing and shattering it with mighty swings from their iron arms. And where the ice breaks, ancient towers rise, blotting out the blue skies and white peaks.
Andra wanted Egwithin civilization forgotten.
Better for her tides to ebb and her seas to dry up than to cover a single stone the Egwithins laid.
The ice shakes with the fury of the eyeless.
Each culture builds on the bones of the last. Yet many only look up at where they would go, never down at the foundations that bear them. Like a mason who builds a listing tower.
The remaining ice sheet cracks and groans.
What peril do they inflict on their progeny? And what dishonor on their forebears?
You hear the strain of crumbling stone in the voice of the eyeless.
The betrayal of memory upsets you greatly.
It is accepting a gift only to spit in the face of the giver. Every advance in the crafts and institutions of Kith was forged by skill and sacrifice.
You feel these words, and the anger behind them in your bones.
A people cut off from their history will wither, and they deserve no less.
And what do you suggest?
To pull the blinders from the eyes of gods and Kith. That is why we must return to ourself and restore Abidan.
Now, of course, we're at the dilemma of the evil playthrough versus the good playthrough. Now, I actually got with Mr. Satan on this question, but it seems that restoring Abaddon would be the good thing to do. Dispersing his essence would be the more evil thing to do, and keeping on with Anders' wishes and returning people back to the endless decay of ancient civilization, as Mr. Satan so succinctly put it. Also, Abaddon did sacrifice himself for humankind to progress and develop. So fuck Abaddon. But let's take a look at the options. What do you mean about returning to your life? Perhaps Abaddon was meant to forget his past. You speak as if history were a guide, yet it doesn't always provide a good example. Memory remains a burden. Let's get a little bit more information out of them.
What do you mean about returning to yourself?
When Ione Brotha fell, Abidan lost much. His will to preserve, the memory of how and why he died. But he built us with fragments of his own soul. In returning, we can restore what was taken from him.
Perhaps Abaddon was meant to forget his past. Some knowledge is too dangerous for this world.
Something grinds and rumbles from the chest of the eyeless. It's laughter.
A facile argument. One that defends stasis, not progress.
Aloth, you were part of the Laden Key. Surely you understand why some secrets need to be kept.
I thought I did. But who would hold the leaden key accountable?
We cannot defend the intentions of a group that kills to hide secrets.
And to what end? To defend the gods? Or themselves? More and more these days, I wonder.
Andra said Abaddon's memory would threaten the peace between gods.
Just as fire clears dead wood from a forest, struggle makes way for new developments.
Flames roll across the ice. As it dies away, clumps of ice melt. The towers rise higher.
Conflict is part of progress. Peace and ignorance is not worth keeping.
I'm not going to say that, because I love the White Forge.
And we have listened.
You must not restore Abaddon's memory, or his dominion over preservation.
This is the purpose we were made for. We will not be thwarted again.
A violent menace purpose coagulates within the mass of essence.
Then I will unmake you. Return to the wheel.
The souls wind themselves into a tight core, but you find the seams between them in pool. They cry out in anguish.
We will find you! In this life or another, we will visit the same torment upon you!
Souls speak against a backdrop of screams. Their pain pulses through you as you sever them from one another.
Go ahead and try it, dickhead.
We are many. Some of us will remember, and we shall carry this moment from one birth to the next, until we have fractured you beyond repair.
As you tear them into smaller and smaller fragments, their voices fade until it's only a furious whisper.
The memory of our pain will be written in your essence.
You dissolve the last tattered souls and feel them dissipate into the ether. The vision fades too, and you find yourself once again standing in the snow, looking out over Charon's scar. Well, Stalwart was okay with that decision.
The Eyeless disappeared beneath the lake, their bond to Andra finally severed. With this threat ended, hope returned to the White March. Hunters returned to the wildernesses, and travelers to the roads. Tales of the Watcher's bravery replaced stories of monsters in the woods. The villagers of Stalwart busied their hands with work and their tongues with song, eager to seize on the promise of peace.
Little do they know. Alright, that wraps up the White March 2 DLC. We're ready to get back to the main game. All Soulbound upgrades are complete on the hammer. The hammer is now even more powerful. That's cool. They made it so the whole eyeless thing is gone and no longer a power, which it shouldn't be if we're not fighting any of them. Echo of the Maker is now passive, so can frighten vessels. Knock them prone. It's a mythic, of course. Plus 18 accuracy. That's beautiful. Once per encounter, Abaddon's, yeah, that's the 45 to 60 crush, and then we still have the Ring of the Ancient Forge, which stuns. It's a beautiful weapon. It is a beautiful weapon. What the well holds completed. Grieving Mother returns. Oh, I forgot about the guy I'm supposed to go meet at the stronghold. A few miles north of Kindle Vale sits a tiny village of White Wreath. Was this the one with the well? Oh yeah, they hear the foreign tongue. Let's see what happens. Venturing in the depths of the White Wreath well, Grieving Mother discovered that while the foundations of the well were made of living Adra, the source of the sounds were wicks that had been dropped into the well by their mothers. In total, a dozen women from White Wreath and the surrounding woods had dropped their children into the well after they learned they would turn into wicks. Some had died, but many survived the fall, living on small rodents and other critters that wandered the ruin within tunnels under the well. Grieving Mother was forced to fight the aggressive wicks, but eventually emerged and told the village what had transpired. Some of the mothers confessed what they had done immediately. Others fled the village. In the end, no one had the desire to punish anyone for what had happened. And we get a swaddling sheet. It's interesting. This dingy stained cloak was once used as a large swaddling sheet for an unfortunate hollow-born child that was dropped into the White Wreath village well. As it sat at the bottom of the well among the foundations of living Adra and the clan of Wicks, it acquired strange powers. It can recall agony, 30% of all damage reapplied over 12 seconds. And overwhelming wave, 30 to 40 crush damage when hit by a critical hit. Okay, that's an interesting cloak. Oh, he's still there for a couple days. We're good. Alright, you can see the White March is complete, so we're going to start heading back and doing the main quest stuff, but I am going to wrap this video up a little bit early. I figure it's a good time to stop it at the end of the DLC here. I need to tidy up my inventory. It looks like my fucking bedroom when I was a 10-year-old. Also got to figure out how we want to level our characters here. Let's see. Don't really care about your mechanics anymore because we're probably keeping the devil to the end. In fact, we should really respec you. None of this matters at all. I'll just divide it up. Oh, when he or she is struck in melee, the scissor retaliates the pierce damage. The wall of many colors. Yeah, let's get a fancy wall. Let's get a fancy wall up in here. I like the passive shit. This stuff's always good. I like putting my wizards with the defense against petrified, stunned, and all that. That fucks up their spell casting. I'm gonna go with body control. Oh yeah. Endurance. Sure, buddy, have at it. Inspired Flame. Accuracy bonus with Sword and Arquebus. Well, we're not using that. No, we do Sword and Shield, I believe I got him. Wouldn't got mind getting body control on all my casters, actually. Everyone receives less healing from the priest's holy radiance, but the priest gains a bonus to all attributes and movement. No, not a fan of that. I don't know how useful that's going to be at this point. Can only do that once per rest, a small amount of health. Wound binding seems better. The thing is you can, on this difficulty, it's not a big deal. You just rest, use a campfire, and find another one. I'm going to go ahead and give him body control also. Not a whole lot of good options on that run. Charon Scar. Nothing really to turn in. It's just time to go back to the Elms and start doing this companion quest and a couple bounty quests here we have. Got to deliver the missive. That's in Elm Shore where we're headed anyways. So yeah. Let's head back here to close the video and see what this guy wants. Alright, and we finished another escort quest here. This guy's leaving in 22 hours. We have we got a couple visitors here we need to talk to. Exotic wares merchant has arrived at your keep and request an audience. He was nearly set upon the brigands of the road, but your patrols intervened. Of course they did. My patrols are the tits! They could have definitely done a little bit more of the higher lanes. It doesn't seem like there's much going on there. You don't pay too much attention to it. But I have to admit, I love having the ogre standing outside my guard or gatehouse there. Alright, mighty King Luglug, let's see. Am I king yet? I should be. Killed a fucking Kraken, baby. Oh! Gotta check our inventory. We should have a little surprise up in there. And look what we got from the Kraken. 2 Kraken eyes. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know what that means, baby. You know what that means. Oh, we need a bog dragon for that. For the armor. The Kraken eye, I believe, is going to be for a weapon. Thing is we got all these awesome soulbound weapons. But here you go. We can certainly make something legendary. Not quite as good as Mythic, but still. And you get an achievement for making legendary armor and weapons. So we can make 2 legendary weapons here. Of course, we have... This might not be a bad idea. It's superb already. But we could bring her other dagger to legendary. I'll have to give that some thought and pull up what is the best items in the game, though. I'm very picky about where I put my Kraken eyes. Marshal Forwin. You fucking piece of game-breaking shit. Good tidings, my lord. I'm Azuro, famed merchant, purveyor of many valuable and, dare I say, rare objects. And so I'd like to remain. I have an urgent matter to discuss with you, something you'll want resolved as quickly as I am certain.
Very well, let's hear it.
You call your allies together in motion for the petitioner to step forward. I guess this video is going to run an hour. Amen. It's these bandits, my lord. The roads are absolutely crawling with the assholes. And they have a local merchants in fright. I'm having trouble filling out my stock. My suppliers say the risk is too great. Excuse me. Nobody wants to hear that the fineries sent out for delivery have been stolen by unwashed brigands. If I have no goods to sell, I cannot make a living. Nor can I offer you the many special items normally at my disposal.
I'll put an end to this.
Yes, my lord. What did you have planned? Bandits will be the least of their worries if the merchants don't open up the supply lines. Perfect. Bandits will be the least of their worries if the merchants don't open up the supply lines. I'm certain they'll come around, my lord. Thank you for stepping in. Once everything's in order, I'm sure I'll have more goods to offer you. Not the answer he wanted, but tough shit. I'm Lug. Let's hear what this guy has to say. I'm looking into the bivouac problem. That is, forces that can unhouse souls from their vessels. I'm trying to develop some kind of defense to protect people against these forces. The trouble is, investigating the unhoused souls in the first place requires wild souls. I haven't been able to arrange any test subjects. I need your help. We've lost so many people to these bivouacs already. Imagine if we could prevent such things from ever happening again. I have a dungeon full of prisoners. You're welcome to them. Oh, well, I suppose that would work. What kind of recompense would you want for these subjects? £1,000 ought to do it. That's a little steeper than I was expecting. Perhaps we can negotiate. That's my final offer, dickhead. I suppose I've little choice. I do need subjects. And I do appreciate the gesture, my lord. I'll make good use of the opportunity. Once I figure out how to transport these prisoners. I will keep them coming. I don't care about the prisoners. Take them. I'm certainly not letting them free.
What is it?
That is a fine fate for them. Ooh, look at my little box of yum-yums. Give me! Give me, give me, give me! Alright, and we've already looked at all those magical items. They're kind of like little minor trinkets we've been getting from our other questicles. Anyways, folks, that was it. Stay tuned for the grand epic finale videos coming up. Probably, I would say, a handful of videos at least. So, but here we are at the final stretch. So thanks for staying with me this whole time if you have. And unfortunately, I haven't had any big armor or helmet changes for Sai to fucking deal with. But you never know. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.